Hola my friends, welcome back to A Life I Choose, the place to be to design your life so you can thrive. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Emma. I'm a psychotherapist and a lifestyle strategist, and I'm also the founder of A Life I Choose. A Life I Choose is the self-development agency that guides clients to amplify their strengths so they can overcome any challenge and create lives that are fulfilling, exciting, and meaningful. A lot of you have written to me on Instagram about, going back to life after lockdown, going back to work, going to restaurants again. It's like we're returning to this like normal life, although it's not normal at all. And, obviously with it comes anxiety. And I think that some of you are feeling a bit confused. You're a bit like, okay, now that things are going back to normal, like, why am I feeling anxious now? And like, why do I feel so weird? Like, why do I not feel like myself? And so I wanted to take some time and make this video because, this is happening a lot, and I'm seeing this in a lot of my clients, and I'm seeing this in me as well. It is a really confusing time. It's a very confusing time. And, life has been really weird these past 3 months. In March, Corona landed in Malta, and there was all this panic, and the media panicked, and our government jumped into action, and people were panic buying, and it was just crazy, and fear was through the roof. And now all of a sudden it's like, go back to work, go back to work, go back to work, go to the restaurants, everything's fine, even though the numbers are pretty much the same. It's a mind really, it's very mind and on the one hand we can think like, okay, was it really that bad in the first place? And then on the other hand you see what happened in Italy and what happened in Spain, and you kind of think, oh, well, there was something to it then. But it's just all been a lot to process. And I think on top of all that, a lot of like personal stuff has been coming back for a lot of people. A lot of old traumas have been resurfacing. A lot of just emotional stuff. There's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion. There's been difficulty sleeping at night. Then there's been extremely vivid dreams. There's been like all sorts of stuff. It's been a very, very, very interesting time. It can all be a bit overwhelming. And so when I think about returning to life after lockdown, I think a few things. And one of them is we need to take it step by step. I think it's really, really important to remember that we are resilient, like human beings are extremely resilient, and we do recover from illness. And our greatest source of defense against the virus is our immunity. And something that has upset me very much is that on the media we haven't really heard much about immunity. They've spoken about vaccines, and they've spoken about, the death numbers and the number of cases and blah, 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 but there's been very little focus on immunity. And the truth is, immunity is the one thing that individually we are in control of, up to a certain extent, but we can work on it. We can boost our own immunity by, calming our nervous systems through meditation, through journaling, through therapy, by eating whole food, real food, and not overindulging in sugar and alcohol and caffeine and processed grains. And also through movement, through exercise, not overdoing it, not underdoing it, like a good sort of balance, and really like listening to your body and tuning in. And immunity is also related to living in alignment with your purpose, and saying no to what you don't want and saying yes to what you do want. And it's also related to connection and community. Immunity is a lot like resilience. Our immunity is our ability to bounce back. It's our ability to recover. So all of these different things contribute to our immunity. As we return to the world in this new way, it's important that we take care of ourselves, because our bodies, our energy is what's going to take care of the rest of everything. Keeping up with our responsibilities comes from having enough energy to do that. Being able to stay healthy comes from having enough energy to be able to rebalance. and be able to get into a healthy alkaline state. So definitely take it step by step. Don't expect yourself to be a superhero and to jump back into it like everything's like it was before, because it's not. You know, it's weird, it's trippy to see everyone wearing masks, it's trippy to think about what you touch and what you don't, and you know, and the truth is we are resilient and we do recover, and at the same time that doesn't mean that we like just throw all of the precautions out the window. I think it's important to be smart about it and not live in fear, because at the end of the day, you know, this coronavirus isn't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. You know, just like the flu, it came about and it's gonna stay about. We can wait for a vaccine until we feel safe, but the truth is, like, our bodies know how to recover. Our bodies have healed from much worse ailments, and they will heal, and you know, we are okay. The thing is, we don't throw all precautions to the wind, because obviously people are in different situations and there are the vulnerable to take care of. So obviously, you know, be smart about it. Do things to the best of your ability to take care of people, but also don't live in fear. You know, like, living in fear is just gonna drive your stress through the roof, and that's gonna lower your immunity. So it's really important that we bring safety to ourselves and to the people we love and to our communities. And so we need to bring safety and also go back to enjoying and dancing and, you know, celebrating. And I'm not saying in a reckless way, like meeting in groups of 100 or 200, just saying like with your small community for now, like with your family, or, you know, with just, you know, the 6 people. At the time that I'm filming this, we're allowed to be in groups of 6, you know, that kind of thing. Like, just, you know, be smart about it, make your own decisions at the end of the day, and trust yourself. But there needs to be trust in our ability to recover, and there needs to be trust in ourselves to make decisions and to get back to a good way of life, an enjoyable way of life. So take it step by step, take care of your immunity, and also make space for whatever is coming up. So at the moment, what I'm seeing is there's a lot of emotions. There's always emotions, but there's a lot of emotions lately, a lot of emotional intensity. There's, as I said before, there's anxiety, there's also anger, there's a lot of different things. There's brain fog, there's complete overwhelm, there's burnout. It's really important that you bring acknowledgement to what you're experiencing and allow it to be, make space for it. So rather than pushing yourself to be somewhere you're not, so if usually you're like this mega productive, like go, like, you know, always creative, and you're just not in that space, make some space for that. And, you know, it's okay. It's okay to not always be at 100%. Sometimes we're at 40% and you give all of that 40 and that's enough. You know, sometimes you're at 60%, you give all of that 60 and it's enough. You know, so acknowledge where you are and make space for it. And sometimes making space means taking some time off. And sometimes it means calling a good friend. And sometimes it means journaling and looking at what's happening. And it's really important that you do process where you are, because anything that isn't processed drives our behavior. Any emotions that we do not process, that keep coming up over and over and over again, they drive our behavior unconsciously. We end up making decisions based on those emotions. Those emotions that might be related to one area of our life end up spilling over into all the other areas. So it's really important to just process where you are with whatever you come with, like with whatever is there. Just take some time to be like, this is where I am. And therapy is a massive way to do that. And I'm not saying this so that you come to me. Obviously, I would love to work with you, but I'm not telling you this as an advert. I'm not like, oh, you should do therapy, so like come. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because Therapy makes a massive difference to being able to process where you are, to being able to process what has been going on and how it's been affecting you. And maybe it's not even about coronavirus, but it's about your relationship with your family, or it's about your business, or it's about your relationship with a business partner. It could be anything. But when you process where you are, you understand where you are. You understand then what you need to say no to and what you need to say yes to. And when you understand what you need to say no to, you stop allowing people to drain your energy. You stop allowing yourself to drain your energy, and you start putting your energy towards where it needs to go, towards the places that are most important for this energy to go. As you return to life, stay in touch with yourself. Do not abandon yourself and go back into the busy. Do what you need to do and take a step back. Breathe, pause, process. It's really, really vital that you do that, because the world needs us right now. It does. And to be there, we need to take care of ourselves first. We can't be serving others on an empty tank. We just can't. So we need to be filling up our tank first. So step by step, process, bring space to wherever you are. Boost your immunity by taking care of yourself, and give it time. Have some patience and just give it time. I hope I answered your question. If this brings up more questions for you, please do write them in the comment box below. If it brings up anything for you, just write it down there and we can discuss it further. I wish you a lot of love, and I wish you a lot of healing, and I wish you groundedness and space and acceptance for whatever is, because we're not always grounded, and that's okay. And the way to come back to balance is to acknowledge that we're out of balance in the first place. So lots of love and peace. Don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.